This next part of my Guild Wars collection is a little bit different. It's much smaller. In fact, it's very focused in just one thing, but for me, it is an opportunity to really tell my story on how I got into Guild Wars and some of the things that mean a lot to me, and I can really testify as to how awesome ArenaNet and the people there are. So this next part of my collection that I'm going to be sharing today is my Guild Wars skill pins collection. So the very first part that I'm going to show you now is what we have here as the first year Guild Wars skill pin set, and I've got all of them, but that's not too common from what I understand, and I feel kind of special to actually have the full set. What the story behind this is kind of a long story that goes back to when I first started playing MMOs. That I started playing Ultima Online back in like 1999, 1998, somewhere back in there in high school. So it's been a while. And then from that, I had a blast playing Ultima Online back in the day. But eventually I kind of got a little worn on it, and then EverQuest came along, and I was thrilled to be playing EverQuest. I felt like a boss when, you know, I still have it stuck in my head that EverQuest was optimized for a 28.8 modem, and I had a 56K, and I just thought I was the king of the world. And EverQuest was really graphically a big departure, but for me it was that first moment of just absolute immersion. I remember it was like a winter morning, and I was playing a barbarian, and so I was running around the glacial areas and the snow fields, and I just had that moment of I was immersed in the game just completely, and the world was quiet, and it was just I was just in the game and playing with people, and those two games really got me involved in the MMO genre and made me appreciate the genre as a whole and just develop a love for it. So over the years, I've played a lot of games after that. Mostly I've played Dark Age of Camelot, and I played City of Heroes a lot, but I ran into a lot of issues with those games, and that I really started to become disillusioned with, even though I really loved MMOs, I love what the genre represents, I love everything about them, except for the fact that they just really stagnated hard. After EverQuest, everything was pretty much the same. There were some good innovations out there. Again, Dark Age of Camelot and City of Heroes were two that made me want to play them because of how they innovated. But beyond that, I didn't play that many that I felt like I was really dedicated to, and I didn't feel as immersed in. And so I kind of slowly faded out of playing MMOs, even though I would always keep up on them and try to find out maybe which one can I play now and which one would I like to play. And so what I did is I fell into my old hobby of action figure collecting, and I kind of got more involved with that, and the two kind of came together with Guild Wars because I got to meet a really awesome guy named Peter Freeze, and he works at ArenaNet, and he also collected action figures, and I remember he had a big Justice League collection, and he was on the Toy Buzz, the Raving Toy Maniac Toy Buzz message board, and we had kind of known each other through that, and I had found out about Guild Wars and just kind of was interested in it, and I remember him posting that there was going to be this world premiere event, and so we could try it out for free and everything, and so I did that, and then right away I really had that fresh feeling that I did when I first picked up Ultima Online or EverQuest again, and just had that great feeling of a fun game where I was interacting with people. A lot of the things that I hated about the genre, the grind, the fighting for spawns, the camping, the running back to your corpse, so many of the different things that I really hated about the genre that had come up from different places that this Guild Wars didn't have it. And so Peter Freeze, thank you, but he's one of the awesome people at ArenaNet who I kind of knew him through other channels, and he brought me back into the genre, but he introduced me in many ways to Guild Wars. I had my own knowledge, but he was the one who really gave me that push to try it out because he was working at ArenaNet, and he still is. And so I got back into the game thanks to him, and because of that too, he was really cool on the message board that I kind of would try to post some things about Guild Wars as well, and when there were the beta weekends, I would try to get other action figure collectors like myself to join in, and so we did. We had a couple good weekends there before Guild Wars came out, and got to have a bunch of the community playing together, which was fun. And then later on he hooked me up with this whole the whole first series of the Guild Wars skill pins, and so I didn't earn these. I just happened to have a really cool guy at ArenaNet that I met once and online, or I guess I know him online, and then I've tried to look for him at PAX. I've never caught him, but I've corresponded with him since then, and I really am appreciative to Peter. And but that's the whole story, like from my beginning days playing MMOs up until my introduction to Guild Wars. That whole story is in these pins. So thank you again, Peter, and that's this first part of my collection, which is pretty cool to me. So the next set is just these two here. It's just a flesh wound and vow of silence that came with the Guild Wars Nightfall Collector's Edition. So nothing too fancy about those, but because Paragon's my favorite class, that it's cool that I have a skill pin from them. There's stories behind the last two, the second series of Guild Wars skill pins that you see there, that I have a full set, plus then a couple extra. Well, first, the couple extra there, that I have, I got those from attending Penny Arcade Expo one year, and that they had those, and it was pretty cool just because at that time I really was into Guild Wars. I was having a blast with it, and again, it's that perception of who actually plays the games that I play. So going to PAX and seeing a really cool booth setup, and then seeing people who kind of hanging around the booth, and then even the members of ArenaNet who were there, seeing all of them there, it was really cool to experience that. But then they had these great big bins, and they had all these little skill pins. And so I got the ones that I got from that, which was pretty cool. And I'll be honest, I got a couple for some of my guild mates who weren't able to make it to PAX, and so that was cool. So we got to share some love, and yeah, so that's why I have these four. But then the story behind this whole set is that, again, I didn't really collect them all myself. Last year at PAX, I got to ask a question to the live team and go to their panel, and because I got to ask a question, they gave me Matt gave me a whole set of these of the second Guild Wars skill pin. So that was kind of cool because I was pretty content having most of the set, but then now I have the complete set of Guild Wars skill pins. So it's kind of cool. There you have it. This is what a complete, well, there you go. That's a complete Guild Wars skill pin collection looks like, and then I have a couple extra ones. Again, this is just one little piece of the collection, but I really like it, and I put it on this attractive display board today to share, just because it's a fun little thing. I thought it was a really cool thing that Arena put together as far as swag, that it's a little bit different, but they look super classy. That I don't know how well the light's picking it up, but they have gold borders, and they're super glossy, and they get to show some of the little parts of Guild Wars that we see all the time, but I kind of take for granted. So the little skill icons always have their own little story. So going into Guild Wars 2, if we see more skill pins, I'll get to add to my board. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy. one of the few times I can say I have an absolutely complete collection of something, and I get to tell the story about the awesome people that I've met and my journey along the way. So thank you again for checking this out, and hopefully, don't know how to finish this one, but yeah, I like my little skill pin. So thank you again, ArenaNet. Thank you again to everybody I get to meet at PAX all the many years and enjoy a lot of good times online with too. But yeah, hopefully you have some skill pins too. If not, I don't know if you can have mine.